A campaign to create fear against Anurella, NPP's election committees to become peace committees. Lucky continues efforts to woo government MPs. Entire country is with Ranil secretly. A secret agreement on the second preference. Basil calculates AKD's gains. Mahinda's opportunity to show patriotism. Iraj admits Sajith Namal deal. Namal has already won. Sajith is in a real fix now. Rohinis warning to Sajith in Matale. A bull on stage. Sajith's opposition to Bar permits a hoax. Speculation of a dissolution of Parliament on the 21st night. Ravi K says Ranil is certain to win.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
A campaign to create fear against Anurella. The last 2 days of campaigning for the presidential polls are full of moves by the key contenders to show strength with headcounts. In the meantime, the SJB leader's top advisor, Lakshman Fonseca, plans to bring several MPs presently with President Ranil Wickremesinghe on Sajith's stage. It has become a very tight contest, with the wave of support in the south definitely with Anura Kumara Dissanayake. The NPP boasts that all the others have become scared of Anurella. So Ranil, Sajith, Namal and even Dilith have reached an unwritten agreement to prevent AKD's victory by creating a phobia in society. Critics say that has worked to some extent, with many entertaining fears, notably the business fraternity. Understanding the gravity of the situation, NPP senior Vijitha Herath urged the people not to be misled by this campaign of falsehoods. No one or no property will be harmed, and all our election committees will be made peace committees after the 18th, he said. It is difficult to determine who gains most by this phobia, Ranil or Sajith. Vijitha says that with a historic wave of public support, AKD assuming the presidency cannot be prevented even by all the others getting together. But Lucky claims Sajith has already won. At a SJB meeting this morning, he also said he has rendered up to 5 powerful government figures inactive. Wajira, Prasanna, Lanza and Duminda don't go to brag like that, but instead say the entire country is secretly with Ranil. Just yesterday, Prasanna said in Gampaha that Ranil will win big when the results come on the 22nd. Anyway, critics estimate that none of the candidates will be able to come near the 50% mark, with counting the second preference becoming a must. Enemies in the past have reached a secret pact in principle against the MPP, with the campaign seeing the emergence of 2 camps towards its end. But the camp against the NPP has failed to reach a common understanding until now. So some leading businessmen have got to work on such a consensus, having had talks separately with Ranil, Sajith and Namal on the matter of a second preference. In the meantime, the UNP Old Guard makes efforts to bring Ranil and Sajith together, although they have failed to make any headway. So they too are thinking about the second preference option. Ranil's Community Affairs Chief Kirthi Tenakun asks voters on Facebook not to abstain. Give the vote to the candidate you like. Mark the second preference to prevent the one you dislike from becoming the president, he says. Basil had a closed-door meeting recently where he told his inner circle that a decision has to be taken very soon with regard to Anurella. When Willie asked whether they should back either Sajith or Ranil, Karyawasam said supporting Ranil cannot prevent AKD from winning. He gave statistics saying AKD will secure 45% at most, and the counting of the second preference should happen. Fear has now spread among monks in the Rajapaksa camp too. Dodampahala Rahula Thera urged Mahinda Rajapaksa to withdraw Namal's candidacy and extend support to Ranil. He made the call at a meeting of monks in Ranil's support at Abhayaramaya in Narahenpeta on Sunday. The temple's chief incumbent, Murutetue Ananda Thera, said that Ranil Wickremesinghe is the only leader capable of leading this country, and that he will say it anywhere. There is speculation that a neighbouring country has brokered a deal between Sajith and Namal. In an interview, Namal's close friend Iraj Wiraratne hinted about such an agreement. He requested voters to vote for Namal and mark the second preference to Sajith. That is having quite an effect on SLPP supporters, with the SJB social media teams sharing the video of the interview on all digital platforms. A post on a WhatsApp group this morning challenges AKD's claim that he is the only one who had not struck political deals. But his deal with Sirasa is clear to anyone who watched the Satana program with a moderate eye. Rather than the deals apparent to the public, those struck underhand have the gravest consequences. A win for Ranil is very disadvantageous to Namal's future. Ranil's rebuilding of the country denies him the opportunity to give it a fight in the next round. If Sajith wins, he will mess it up, even Namal's advisors say. Not AKD, but Sajith is more trusted to the Namal camp in this. Namal plays the game in the smartest way, building his image nicely on a nationalist platform. His best bet is Sajith, says the WhatsApp post. Both share another similarly, racism. Sajith is more racist than Namal, but that is not apparent because he is yet to wield power. With Ranil, no such games are possible, and there is no room for racism at all. Professor Nirmal Ranjith says in response to Iraj that Namal has already won in a way, because almost nothing was heard at this election about the wrongdoings committed by the Rajapaksas. Neither Ranil nor Sajith can attack the Rajapaksas, with even the NPP just making occasional references to them. The reason is very simple. All of them are trying to grab a portion of the 6.9 million votes of the Rajapaksas. The Leader TV has been reporting that Ranil is going to take a firm decision with regard to those in the government who don't support him. He sacked 5 state ministers just recently. After hearing rumours about that, Mahinda called Ranil and inquired about it. Ranil promptly answered in the affirmative. Then Mahinda asked whether Shashindra Rajapaksa could retain his portfolio. Ranil gave him a lengthy explanation, stating that his parliamentary group wants all those who don't support him to be sacked. While conceding that, Mahinda said he was making a personal request to retain Shashindra. Ranil said that regrettable though, he cannot change it because he should protect those who are with him in the government. It is said the decision has been prompted by the confirmation of a deal between Sajith and Namal. That talk of a deal has not gone well with some in the SJB. The UMP supporters who lean towards Sajith after believing that Ranil was with the SLPP are making a reversal. They say Ranil has principles, whereas Sajith accepts any muck with the aim of winning. So, with this latest branding, Sajith has got into a real fix with just days to go for the election. Rohinis warning to Sajith in Matale. Irida Deshaya had the following piece of gossip last week. Blows were exchanged at a meeting in Ratnapura, attended by SLPP MPs in the government and some from the Hand symbol party. A state minister and a provincial minister started it by accusing each other. It was said the SLPP lot was not giving any regard to the others. That led to fisticuffs, but bodyguards intervened and prevented further incidents. But the duo continued to exchange verbal jabs for several hours with choicy words. Crossovers are making the old guard very unhappy. That is a worst-case scenario in the SJB. MP Hesha Vithanagai drove away ex-State Minister Susantha Punchinilame from the stage in Ratnapura on the 14th. That happened before Sajith arrived. Hesha boasted that the SJB would not accept the leeches who come with the tide. The Leader TV brought the specifics of the incident yesterday. A similar incident happened at Sajith's stage in Matale, as reported by newspapers on their front pages today. In a speech at this rally, MP Rohini Kaviratne urged her leader not to spoil his vow of not allowing ethanol racketeers on his stage. That was prompted by the presence of SLPP's Lakshman Wasantha Pereira. She refused to go on stage until that bull left and remained with her supporters. She also called her General Secretary and warned him. A little while later, Nalin Bandara got the SLPP MP to leave the stage. Immediately, Rohini went to the stage and stressed that leader Sajith's stage had no place for bar owners. By the time Sajith arrived, Lakshman Wasantha had got home. But an Aluvihar telephoned him and tendered an apology if he was inconvenienced by Rohini's behaviour. A big shot at the opposition leader's office told some journalists that Lakshman Wasantha was brought to Sajith by a party leader from Kurunagala who recently joined the SJB-led alliance. But not even Sajith had much of a liking for the fellow, but gave allowances at that party leader's insistence. Lakshman Wasantha, a close friend of the Rajapaksa family, had the alcohol distribution monopoly for the north. Further, SJB MPs claim that he had been given ethanol permits too. He is also the owner of a radio channel and spends lavishly during elections. It seems he has got in the good books of the Aluviharis of Matale, some journalists say. Anyway, Sajith said at a meeting yesterday that he would cancel the bar licences given as political bribes as the first duty after taking oaths on the 22nd. Speculation of a dissolution of Parliament on the 21st night. Now, there is speculation that Ranil is going to dissolve Parliament on election night. AKD told a television interview that even if Parliament gets dissolved, the President-elect is empowered by the Constitution to govern the country. President's Counsel Upul Kumaraperuma explained it further at a media briefing. He warned of dire consequences for the people and the country if the incumbent dissolves Parliament. A basic principle in a civilised society is the democratic transfer of power to the President-elect, he noted. However, UNP's National Secretary Ravi Karunanayake says there will be no need to dissolve Parliament since Ranil is certain to win. He accuses AKD of trying to draw the public attention elsewhere after failing to answer the questions posed to him by Ranil about the economy. With the election day nearing, voters need to understand that the 21st is just another day in the calendar. They have a life thereafter too. So, vote early and mind your own affairs without getting into undue trouble. That's it for today.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම